Welcome to today's video tutorial where we dive deep into Apache Camel, a powerful integration framework. In this session, we will focus specifically on debugging camel routes, a crucial skill for any developer working with integration patterns. First off, let's understand what Apache Camel is. Camel allows us to define integration patterns in a variety of languages, including Java, XML, and YAML. But as with any application, things can go wrong. That's why debugging is an essential skill. To get started, I'll show you how to set up a basic camel route for demonstration purposes. I'll be using the Maven build tool. Make sure you have your IDE ready, and let's get coding. Next, I'll create a simple route that reads from a file and processes the messages, then writes them to another file. This is a common use case in integration projects. Let's create a class for our route. Now that we have our route set up, let's run it. Make sure you have a file in the input directory. When we run the application, Camel should automatically move it to the output directory. This way, we can see if our route is functioning. Now that our route is running, let's discuss debugging techniques. The first approach I'll share is logging. Camel provides built-in logging capabilities that can help you trace the flow of messages. This can be very useful for identifying where things go wrong. Let's add logging to our route so we can see every message processed. This helps to ensure that the input to the next step is as expected. With logging in place, run your application again and monitor the console for logs. This visibility will help you follow your file as it moves through the route, and if something goes wrong, you can pinpoint exactly where. Now, let's discuss another powerful debugging tool in Camel, the Camel Debugger. The debugger allows you to step through the code execution, inspect message content, and evaluate expressions at runtime. It's an invaluable tool for diagnosing complex routing issues. To enable the Camel Debugger, you can do this by starting your application with the debug option in your IDE or from the command line. Make sure you set breakpoints in your route configurations where you'd like to pause execution. Once the debugger is hit, you can inspect the state of the messages and other variables. This way you can see what's going on under the hood and make informed decisions about potential fixes. Additionally, you can use the Camel UI to visualize your routes. The Camel K and Camel Spring Boot provide managed environments where you can visualize the routes and monitor metrics. It's a great way to gain insights into the process without diving into the code every time. Next, let's talk about error handling. It's vital to anticipate and handle errors appropriately in your Camel routes. You can utilize the onException block to define what should occur if an exception is thrown during message processing. Add the onException block to handle and log any exceptions during processing. This strategy will prevent your route from crashing and provide valuable information for debug. This way, you can capture errors when they occur and take action, such as logging or rerouting the message for further processing. Furthermore, you can use the Camel Error Handler to customize how errors are handled per route. This level of granularity helps manage complex systems effectively. Using a dead letter channel in this case means that any message that cannot be delivered to its intended destination will be sent to a designated directory labeled error. This keeps your main processes running smoothly. Don't forget to monitor the error directory for any files that have been rerouted there. Checking these files can provide insight into what went wrong and be a source of valuable debugging information. Next, let's look at using predicates and filters. Sometimes, you may want to conditionally route messages based on their content. You can use simple predicates to filter messages to appropriate routes, thus minimizing unnecessary processing. The above route processes only messages that contain the word error. The usage of filters can significantly reduce debugging frustration caused by irrelevant messages being processed along with significant ones. You can also make use of content-based routing to agree on conditions under which messages are routed to different endpoints. It's similar to filtering, but more powerful in terms of multiple outcomes. Using the choice block allows for greater flexibility in routing based on the content of the messages. You can significantly streamline your routes by implementing smart routing strategies. Finally, let's review some good practices to enhance your debugging efforts. Always keep your routes decoupled whenever possible for easier testing and debugging. This will help isolate issues quicker during development. Utilize unit testing extensively on your Camel routes. Camel provides testing capabilities through Camel Test Kit, allowing you to test routes in isolation and simulate various inputs and outputs. Implementing these unit tests can help catch issues early in the development cycle before the code reaches production. That's a crucial part of maintaining high-quality Camel applications. As we draw this tutorial to a close, remember that debugging is not just about fixing issues. It's about understanding the system you are working with and knowing how to enhance its stability and performance. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please give a thumbs up, subscribe, and make sure to check out our other tutorials on Apache Camel. Your learning journey is just getting started, so stay tuned for more coding content